Hey, Pisces. What it do, boo? It's me, T, aka Cleopatra, and you're watching TTV. And I have you all's advice reading. I done took some notes. I done ruminated on your energy before I came here to make sure that I've already got the energy laid out for you. Already been tapping in, been getting into it. And this is your energy slash advice for the next 10 days. We are currently moving, I think we're between 22 and 23 degrees of the sun being in Aquarius, meaning that we have a little over and under a week left of Aquarius season before we get into your season, Pisces season. So, going out into this the as we go out of the third deacon, I kind of explained that in the description box in the Sagittarius reading that I posted for Aquarius season. You don't have to watch the reading, but I was told to tell you. But when I say told, I was told by my divine team, aka God, when I was channeling your energy to tell you to tap into the Sagittarius reading if you have Sagittarius in your chart, or if you have any planets in the ninth house, specifically if you have the sun. Since you are a sun Pisces, you could also be a Pisces moon, or you could be a Pisces rising, Pisces Venus. Doesn't matter if you're channeling the energy of Pisces right now, or you could be an Aquarius wanting to know how to utilize your energy for Pisces season. And it's very, energy is energy is transferable, um, and it's not set in stone. So we can utilize all of the energies of each zodiac, even if we may be a specific sign. So, for example, with Sagittarius, you and Sagittarius have something in common, Pisces, because you both share the modality of being mutable. Whereas Sagittarius is mutable fire, you are mutable water. Now, the other thing that you and Sagittarius have in common are both the fact that um, you are, is it yin signs? I think you're yin signs because you're more on the emotional side. Fire and water are internal signs, whereas earth and air are external signs. So, also with Sagittarius, you and Sagittarius both rule the same planet. Although Pisces, you rule Neptune, you co-rule Jupiter alongside Sagittarius. You're the nighttime of Jupiter. And I'll put that information in the description box. All the terms, the astrological terms I just used, mutable, the modalities, and signs, yin, all of that. I'm gonna put that in the description box, so make sure you check that out. As well as I'm gonna have some channeled songs that I'm gonna get into once I get into your notes. So another reason why I was drawn to tell you to check out that Sagittarius reading is because whenever I pulled your energy for your oracle cards, and I have a little deck that I created that has the signs, the planets and numbers, and the cards that I pulled out for you for well, the way that so let me explain my layout really quickly. I did your energy for, this is past, present, and future, but I have this up here because it's hard to see. I'm in a different setup than I was in yesterday for the Sagittarius reading. So I'm kind of working with what I have to make it so that you can see. So this is your past, present, and future. Now, with that being said, we have the left side and we have the right side. And then above, we have our conscious energy. And then below, we have the subconscious energy. So with the subconscious energy being the number 9, the ninth house, and Sagittarius ruling over the ninth house, that's why I was guided to tell you to particularly check out the Sagittarius reading if you're drawn to the title, if you're just drawn to it, or because you want to gain more information and clarity. And for you, Pisces, that could be like a part 2 or an extended version of this reading that we have here. So I am gonna kind of show you some of the cards, so like these and these over here, because like I said, they're hard to see. So getting into your past energy here. Now, before we dive completely into the cards, I took some notes. And as I took the notes, what I did was I kind of summarized the numbers that I see here. Like, as you can see, there's a few sevens. We got a seven here, we got a seven here in reverse, and we got seven here. So for your past energy, you have the the seven. Hold on. Can you see that? So for your past energy here, we have the seven of wands, but in reverse. We have the seven of hearts. At the end of the video, I'm gonna take a better angle of a screenshot of the cards. Um, I may just insert it after this particular clip. I'll insert a clip of the cards. So if you want to screenshot and kind of get, for your next 10 days advice, you'll kind of be able to see that better. So we have the seven of wands, we have the seven of cups, and then we have the seven of cups here again for your current energy. And then we end up having the seven of pentacles here. So let's get a little information on Aquarius. So Aquarius is fixed air. You, Pisces, are mutable water. Those are two completely different energies. But what these energies share is the fact that they are adjacent to one another. The Aquarius ruling over the 11th house and Pisces ruling over the 12th house. Pisces being the final sign of the zodiac before we start over and enter into the first house of Aries. So, what that means for you, Pisces, is that during Aquarius season, you're in the energy of a semi-sextile. And a semi-sextile is a 30-degree angle. Now, being that there are 12 signs and there's 360 degrees in a circle, that means that each sign is 30 degrees. And within each sign being 30 degrees, remember when I started the video and I said we're between 22 and 23 degrees of the sun being in Aquarius? Well, that's because the sun travels between each sign for roughly 30 days, which means that, like I said, we have give or take a week left of Aquarius season as we transfer into your season of Pisces. And so that's why this is going to be your energy slash advice for the next 10 days. So currently, what's important is the fact that we have Venus in Pisces. So going back to the energy of the seventh house is ruled by Libra, which Libra is ruled by the planet of Venus. Now, although Libra is ruled by the planet Venus and is co-ruled, um, and Venus is co-ruled by the sign of Taurus, Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. I'll put those meanings down in the description box as well, meaning that when a planet is ruled by a particular sign, it's home, it's comfortable in those areas. But when it's exalted, it's kind of like you're going over your cousin's house for the weekend, you're spending the night, you're having a summer party, y'all acting a fool, or your parents are away for the weekend and you're having a house party and all your friends are over, instead of just you being at home, being comfortable, being cool, doing your homework, watching your favorite show, taking a bath, smoking your joint, whatever you're doing. Instead, you're going above and beyond. You're taking what's comfortable, but you're making it on steroids. And that is what Venus is feels like in Pisces. Now, the irony of Aquarius season, and Venus being in Pisces right now, is the theme that we have of Valentine's Day. Ironically, Valentine's Day falls in the month of February, which is Aquarius season, even though Aquarius is known for being very cold and detached and aloof. Unlike you, Pisces, you're very warm, you're very dark, deep. Sometimes deep and dark is associated with the sign, your sister sign, not your sister sign, but well, not your sister sign per se, because well, I think it would be technically a sister sign. Um, Sister sign of Scorpio, because it's also water, but Scorpio is fixed wire. Scorpio is fixed water, whereas you're mutable water. Um, And so, with Venus being in Pisces right now, I feel like there are emphasis of the seventh house with all these seventh being here. But the thing with the seventh house is it's not just all about, like they say, it's not just all love and light. Well, it's not just all about love and romance and relationships. It's the other ladder of Libra, which is also karma and balance and harmony, and also judgment. So, what happens when you mix those two sides of the seventh house together? It's like Venus and Pisces wants to focus on, love in the sense of being an illusion. Like you just want to have a partner. You just want to experience Valentine's Day because everybody else is, and you just are hopping onto the trend and you want to be a part of it. Whereas you're thinking more so about true love and you are removing the wool over your eyes for what love looks like instead of what it should be. So we have the moon in Scorpio right now. We have the sun in Aquarius, which means that the moon and the sun right now are currently battling each other because Aquarius and Scorpio are both fixed signs. And when you have a two signs that are a part of the same modality, like you and Sagittarius, it creates a I mean, not modality. What is it called? Fixed. Well, fixed. They are modalities, but sorry. When you have a sign that is, yeah, in the same modality, it creates a square. And a square is a 90-degree angle, and that creates challenges. I don't know if it's more so the opposition that creates a challenge, but I know that, yeah, like the square creates like a blockage almost kind of. You think a block, you think of a square. So the moon, which is emotions, and the sun, which is the ego, and the sun rules over Leo, and Leo's opposite sign is Aquarius. So right now, it's kind of a weird energy anyway because the sun. Remember when I was talking about Venus being exalted in Pisces? Well, the sun falls in Aquarius, meaning that it's falling short of the energy. It's very diluted and watered down. It's not where it wants to be, which is why Aquarian suns can get the um, reputation of being cold and detached, whereas other parts of Aquarius may excel more than they would as being a Aquarius sun. So I said all that to say the fact that Aquarius and ruling over the 11th house and you ruling over the 12th house are right next to each other means that there is a semi-sextile, which is a 30-degree angle. So the energy from the house before is being transferred or kind of like runneth over into the next sign, but it's like a muddled line. Like it gives me that cusp energy where it's like there's a borderline, but there's not really a borderline. So Pisces, let's start getting into your reading. In your past energy, you had very, very strong emotions for something. You had strong emotions for something that was almost compelling you, like against yourself. I'm saying your emotions for something ended up bringing you to a point where you had to reevaluate yourself and all the options that you had. Because with Venus being in Pisces and with you, Pisces being the 12th house, sometimes you have the tendency to live in an illusion, or you have a tendency to dissociate from reality and not technically see things for how they are. You know, you're very much aware of how things are, but you would much rather see them from the point of view that you would like to see them, which is a fantasy, which is an illusion. A lot of times also can be considered a lie. So with the Seven of Wands in reverse, let me make sure this is focused. Yeah. I feel like there was some type of opportunity that you had in regards to love or regards to loving yourself or self love. But I feel like you put your feelings aside in order to step into this type of opportunity. And it could have been a relationship. Like there could have been a relationship that you were head over heels for because I feel like Pisces, you're a lover sign and you just love love and you want to love, but like it can be to your detriment, and it can be a lot of times love matters with Pisces can be very toxic in a way, because you like to see people for their potential or almost not see them at all. You just kind of have this idea of what they should be like, and you just have this relationship with this person in your head that's not the same relationship that you're actually having in the reality. So like I said, in the past, I'm hearing like intimacy and celibacy. Like you could have been young and in love, or broken your celibacy and gave your all to someone who ended up it ended up going against your better judgment, or you didn't really have a judgment per se. You kind of allowed your person to be your world and to really dictate what judgment meant for you. So in a sense, you were almost out of balance in the past. And now I see you kind of wondering why things with the Queen of Wands here. Let me see the Queen of Swords, because swords has to do with thoughts. And thoughts are a masculine sign, but with it being in the Queen, which is feminine, I see you these next 10 days thinking a lot about why things turned out the way that they did. Or you could even be questioning why you put yourself in a position to even go through what you went through, because now, like what you went through in the past, even though you're very, I feel like Pisces, you have a very strong sense of self. Like you understand what you're doing, you understand why you do what you do, because you do it out of emotion. Like a lot of times you don't really think about things because you'd rather just feel them, or you'd rather just experience, or you're here for the good vibes. You're not here to really overthink and dispute and consider, well, what if this happens and what if this happens, until it's too late. And now, since Aquarius is fixed air and you are mutable water, I think like during these last 10 days of Aquarius season, this last week of Aquarius season, as we're in the final decan of Aquarius season, it's like there's so many things on your mind that you would prefer not to be on your mind, because being a mutable water sign, you just want things to just flow and be easy. But instead, you are thinking about like your own reputation and how you put yourself. It's like almost like you feel like you tarnished yourself in a way, like you tarnished your reputation because of the people you decided to associate yourself with, or the things that you decided to associate yourself with. And now it's like really haunting you. It's like taking over your mind, and you're almost wishing that you made better decisions, but you know that you can't change the past. And like I said, it's kind of haunting you, but instead it's like I feel like you're taking, kind of like in the Sagittarius reading I said this, like you're taking everything that you went through before and you're reevaluating. But I kind of see it like, again, Pisces, with you being a very like whimsical and fanatical sign, you have a very fantasy like approach to things. So I see you kind of like rearranging your mind in order to feel better, because um it's almost like your thoughts and your past is catching up to you, not because someone else is bringing it up, but because you're thinking about it. And it's like literally making you sick to your stomach to think about the fact that you spent all your time and efforts into something that was against your better judgment, and you didn't really listen to yourself and your intuition. And you being a Pisces, you know that you're a very intuitive sign, but instead you chose your heart over your head. And now I see you really trying to figure out how to balance your heart and your head, so that in the future you can no longer go through these situations and feel comfortable being in your own energy, which is an energy of being loving and intuitive, instead of trying to always be on defense mode and protect yourself because you've been hurt. Because now it's like you, as a mutable water sign, you just want to go all in and just feel and go with the flow. But instead it's hard for you to do that because you are in defense mode, and you need to do some type of healing from your trust issues and from your past. You need to forgive yourself, and you need to, it's not even about you forgiving yourself, it's about you needing to forgive, um and not even, it's not even about forgiving anyone, it's just being able to let go of what happened in the past so that you can move forward. um because I don't think that you necessarily need to forgive yourself or forgive the other person, but you kind of need to let it go. It's like you're holding on to trauma in your heart chakra, and it's causing you to block yourself from opportunities that are trying to present themselves right now. And it'll be easier for you to flow from Aquarius season into Pisces season if you are able to release your mind, get these thoughts off, and allow your head to be clear. But for right now, it's like there are a lot of thoughts right now that are in your mind. And it's very hard. Like it's hard for you to have to think about things that you are holding on to, especially in your heart space, because you don't want to be feel like a victim, and you don't want to feel like you made a bad decision, but at the same time you want to be able to move forward. And so I really see you like kind of sitting into your own emotions, and like your emotions during Aquarius season this last week or these next 10 days. I see your emotions kind of like causing you to like disassociate from reality, because you are like transmuting all this energy as you think back on all the things that happened before. Because instead of being a traumatic person and having trust issues and hurting others because you've been hurt, because hurt people, you were trying to just really like mature in your emotions and learn how to discern when things are not for you. Like because you're a lover sign, yes, you know you can love probably any you can love pretty much anybody, but at the same time you're really realizing that everyone doesn't deserve your love, and you cannot make someone love you. You can't make someone be ready for you, even though you feel like with your strong intuitive abilities you may be able to do that, which is true in a sense. But at the same time you can be causing yourself to be in a karmatic cycle over and over again by continuing to not be in love for the right reasons, but because you want to fix someone, or because you're being codependent and you feel like this person is toxic and needs you. And so you feel comfortable in your toxic energy with them because this person isn't ready to be in a position to hold themselves accountable and fully show up for someone else in a relationship. Ooh, man, that was deep. Um, so as you're leaving out of your past energy right now during Aquarius season, and these this last week, these next 10 days, going into your season, you're thinking a lot about decisions that you're going to make. And I see you working on your heart chakra, working on your throat chakra, and really finding something that you're finding another way to. It's kind of like, instead of, okay, how can I say this? So, Pisces, you are a water sign. Water is about the emotions, the intuition. And so you have to find something to connect. Like Pisces have to feel like they have something to connect to emotionally. So instead of you finding a person to be in a relationship or a situationship or a codependent partnership, that you could potentially end up getting hurt and then being your toxic energy, which is just being like all over the place. You're trying to heal that so that way you don't have to necessarily just, excuse me, give your all to one person who doesn't deserve it, and then in the end you realize that you could also been giving some of your energy to another person who does deserve it, but all the while you're still cutting off the person who doesn't. So instead I see you finding something that, like a thing, a task, an action, a project, something that you can put your passionate loving energy into instead of a person. It could be a pet, it could be art, it could be a project, it could be your body, it could be exercise, it could be writing, journaling, poetry, singing, dancing, something that has to deal with you pouring your all. It's kind of like I see someone writing a song or writing poetry and putting their emotions on paper. Like you're almost inadvertently manifesting the love of your life or your divine counterpart by putting onto paper your true emotions. And when you put your true emotions onto paper, you're able to, using the law of attraction, draw that energy in, because you're actually telling yourself, but you're being honest with yourself and telling the universe what it is that you do want, instead of just being like, oh, I'm just shacked up and laid up with someone, and we spend all our time together, and this is the person I spend all my time with, but they're not necessarily the true person I'm supposed to be with. So instead you're able to put your emotions onto paper, because Aquarius being fixed air, Air signs are very logical. Their left brain, they think. Whereas you Pisces, your right brain, and you're very emotional. You're not you. You feel before you think. Whereas Aquarius think before they feel. And it's very fitting considering that that's the sign right before yours. So Aquarius season and these next 10 days, this next week, as you transition into Pisces season, where you'll feel more comfortable expressing yourself, and you'll feel more comfortable in your emotions. I feel like right now you're feeling very uncomfortable, not with your emotions, but in your mindset. There's a lot of things on your mind that you'd rather much not think about, but you can't help but to think about them because these decisions and these things that you put yourself into in the past are the direct reflection of your reality right now. And you're thinking like, damn, I thought I would have been um in a relationship. I thought I would have been married right now. I thought I would have had this amount of kids and this and that, and I would have had this going and this going. And the kids that I have could have helped me because I could have channeled my energy into my kids by letting my kids get into sports and music and dance. But instead, it's like I'm here by myself with all this love to give, and I'm trying to figure out how to really give it to myself. Because it's not to say that you don't love yourself, Pisces, because you do, but it's like the love, I feel like you give more love to other people than you do yourself. And so now Aquarius season is really forcing you to look within and to figure out, why is it that you pour more into others than yourself? Because with Capricorn being upside down in the conscious, your energy right now is very unstable. It's very fanatic, and you almost could be in your shadow energy. I see you seeking some type of healing, and with you, sorry for saying so much. With you disassociating, your spirit guides are almost carrying you. Like I feel like when you sleep, it's like you jump timelines and you jump dimensions. You're almost like you're going back in the past, talking to yourself, and you could have had some deja vu moment lately. You could be having a lot of deja vu lately, just in general, through the month of February and through the month of Aquarius season, and maybe even going to Pisces season, because you are jumping timelines, and your future self is coming back now, and you in this moment have visited yourself in the past, and the old version of yourself when you were in this very codependent toxic energy saw you and was confused and like, oh, okay, like you weren't thinking too much of it because you were in an unevolved state, and you just thought maybe you were seeing a future version of yourself, and you were, but that future version of yourself that you were seeing in the past is who you are right now. And so that's why you're experiencing a lot of deja vu, because you are kind of I see you wanting to do shadow work, but like a Sagittarius was doing a lot of shadow work, but I see you, Pisces, going through almost now is it okay, let me think. Is it dark night of the soul? Is it evil death? I feel like some of you Pisces could be going through an ego death. And what an ego death is when you are realizing that you haven't been true to yourself, and you're dismantling all the ideas, all the narrative that you held on to before for dear life, or that you could have originally had set for yourself, but when you got lost in the sauce and you got lost and mixed into other people's energies, with you being an empath, and you allowed the energies around you to kind of cloud, like I said, cloud your judgment and overtake you, and you got swept underneath the wave. Is you're a fish, Pisces, so and you're supposed to flow and like let things go naturally, but instead it's like, the ocean and the water is your terrain, but instead it's like you've been doing somersaults in the water, flipping and turning, and doing all things. You haven't been flowing with the current. You've been trying to swim upstream, but at the same, actually you haven't even gotten to the point where you're swimming upstream yet. I see you just like being washed all underneath these tidal waves, and the tidal waves are a representation, are a metaphorical representation of your emotions. So there's so many thoughts and emotions at once going on, and you are trying to um draw the line between the two of them. Really quickly with Selcat here. Let's see, Selcat. Um, Selcat, look how bright she is. She's green. And for your notes, I wrote down the heart chakra. Now before I get into that, let me show you this other card. I don't know how to say her name. Nephthys. I heard somebody say it before. I don't remember. Number 24, soul healing. So I wanted to point out these two cards. This was your overall energy. Cats is the number 36, and Nephetus is number 24. Now, 36, 3 and 6 together make the number 9, which is your subconscious energy. And remember, in the beginning of the video, I went on to say how Sagittarius rules the ninth house, and you and Sagittarius both rule over the same planet, even though Sagittarius is the predominant energy of the ninth house in Jupiter, but you co rule. So the reason why that's important is because here with magical protection, the planet Jupiter is the planet of abundance and luck. So I feel like your luck is in your love life. Your luck is in how you love, your love language, your emotions. But you've been having maybe a stream of bad luck, or you could have been having a stream of good luck partners. But because you're in a toxic energy and you've been holding on to this part of yourself that's not really true to who you are, it's been causing you to miss out on true connections because you weren't really looking at yourself. Like, you didn't have the highest opinion of yourself. Maybe you were probably dealing with a lot of insecurities, probably around how you come off in the world. Like, you're probably very self-conscious whenever you meet new people, and it makes you uncomfortable because you're spending so much time wondering, uh how do they see me, how do they see me? So instead of just going with the flow of life, you run from the situations and you run from partnerships that you meet good partners and you know that they're good for you, and instead you just decide to be codependent or just be in lust or just um be sleeping around and whatever, and you know that that's not really you, and it since because it doesn't feel true to who you are, it's caused you to kind of lose yourself a little bit, and now your ancestors and your spirits guides and your higher self are trying to connect with you and bring you back because you're getting to the point where you can get in the sunken place. But in the sunken place you can, like, find some type of light and wisdom. So the ninth house having to deal with wisdom, it's like you're subconsciously wanting to shed this part of yourself. It's kind of like when I say the sunken place, you see how everything here in this card is dark and then there's the moon. Now in tarot, the moon card is ruled, even though the moon rules Cancer, which is another sister sign, a water sign, the moon card in tarot is ruled by Pisces. And so that has to deal with illusions and hidden truths and secrets. And so I feel like you are finding hidden secrets and secret knowledge, and this type of wisdom is causing you to come back to reality and come back to who you really are and how you are able to tap into your intuition instead of just knowing that things are not good for you and just being like, whatever, it's just here in my reality now. And you just take whatever's there, almost being desperate for, attention or love because you're not giving it to yourself right now. And that's not to say that you can't give it to yourself. You're just choosing not to because of some heartbreak and hurt and trauma that you went through that's causing you to be insecure or to be self-conscious about yourself. So with Capricorn being in the subconscious, I mean the conscious, you could be thinking a lot about your stability, which could be your career, your finances. You could have felt like, man, I was supposed to be doing this. When I was younger, I thought that I wanted to do this. And so I feel like as we transition from Aquarius season to a Pisces season, what's going to help you is to go back. And even if that means like actually trying to jump timelines and go back to your younger self or just connecting with your inner child and thinking about what it is that you really, really, really wanted for yourself. Like if you were 17 and now you're 27, when you were 17, what did you think your life was going to look like when you were 27? And that could be what's haunting you right now, because you could be really like, damn, like what the fuck happened? And you're just realizing that you had a 10-year blur, or you had a 10-year like blank on your mind because you had some type of trauma that hurt you so bad that you went into the sunken place, and now you're literally crawling out of the sunken place. And it's like you're realizing like, wow, you're looking at the sunken place, realizing that that's where you were, and you've come to the realization, not even realizing, I'm sorry, wow, you come to the realization not realizing, but you are now seeing that you were in a state of mind that it was like you were in a state of hypnosis because you were in the sunken place. And you're like, damn, I didn't even, like, 10 years just went by, 10 years of my life went by, and what was I doing? Like, so now you are working on how you're working on your self-image. You're working on how you feel about yourself, how you see yourself, and really healing your heart chakra and healing your throat chakra. Healing, I see you working on your upper chakras from the heart up, like the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown chakra, and the solar star chakra and above. But more specifically, you're working with the first two upper chakras, which are the heart and the throat. Now I want to go back really quickly before I go into this Capricorn. When I mentioned 3 and 6 being 9, I already talked about that, but then 2 and 4 also being 6. That's why I said the emphasis on the throat chakra, because the heart and the throat are actual body parts, and the sixth house ruling Virgo, Virgo rules over health and the body. So that's why I believe that you're going to be working on your throat chakra and your heart chakra. Maybe you've been experiencing some type of sore throat lately. You keep trying to figure out, why is my throat keep like, why do I keep losing my voice? Why do I keep coughing? Like, excuse me, I keep getting scratches in the back of my throat. It's because your body is trying to urge you to heal your throat chakra and your heart chakra. And that also means like your throat chakra is how you speak up for yourself. Maybe like you don't really talk about how you feel, or maybe you don't really, maybe you spend more time just allowing people to just, uh, emotional dump onto you and just tell all their feelings, and you just sit there and you take it and you absorb all that energy. With you being a water sign, you're very empathic, and it's very easy for you to absorb that energy. So you just been taking it all in. It's kind of like you've just been taking punches and you haven't been fighting back. And it's like you haven't been speaking up for yourself, standing and telling people, hey, I need space. Or instead, like maybe you've just been ghosting people and you haven't really been being honest with the people who are trying to be there for you. And you're just like, instead of saying, hey, I need help, or hey, I need space, or hey, I'm not feeling too good, you're not saying anything, and it's making you look like a shitty person. That's Capricorn. Capricorn has to do with your status and your reputation. And so you are feeling that energy where people are like, damn, what happened? Like, you're making people feel shitty, and which makes people think you're a shitty person, and now you feel shitty about yourself because how you've been treating people, all out of trauma and hurt. So with the ego death, I see you literally realizing that you have not been conscious for these last 10 years in the way that you should have been. You've just been going through the motions, and you've been on autopilot. Now, for those of you who are going through a dark night of the soul, I see you having this strong urge to do some type of healing, which means that you are jumping these timelines. And I see, like I said before, you need to find something instead of someone to pour your emotions into. And I see that that could potentially be spirituality, because the ninth house does rule the spiritual world and realm in wisdom. And so I think I'm seeing you become almost like addicted to healing. Like you're becoming, instead of becoming addicted to a person that isn't good for you, or being addicted to fake relationships or these ideas of people that you make up in your head, you're like working on yourself and your self image, and you're healing yourself, so that way you and your future self and your higher self are in alignment, and you're healing the old parts of yourself too, and you're becoming this whole person instead of being bits and pieces of who you feel like you should be, who you were, who you are, and who you're not. Now, going into the future energy, you have the Ten of Cups, which is really good. I see as we go into Pisces season and we get close to your birthday, you're going to start getting out of this like mind fuddleness, and you're going to start opening your heart up again to love. You're going to start um, standing up for yourself, and you are going to have something is like you're going to see things for the better. Probably because it's the winter months, you've probably been going through some type of seasonal depression or mind fog, and as it gets into your season, you'll start to take your power back by realizing your worth, and realizing that you are not what am I trying to say, like you are not, like your trauma does not define you. I don't want to say our past doesn't define you, because that's a very toxic connotation I feel like people use, because it does define you. Those are the choices that you made, but you are able to change and heal from that part of yourself. And notice how both of these, I think for the most part, these are the same person. Here, let me show you. I'm gonna have to look into my book and then I'll write in the description box. But oops. So notice how on these cards, she has her arms open and she's looking to the right. Now the right hand side has to deal with the feminine emotion. And since her arms are open, that means she's open to receiving abundance. Like you are now like A lot of times Pisces, like, because you guys are mutable water, you just go with the flow anyway, which is how you can end up in these toxic situations, because you get a crush on someone, someone gets a crush on you, and now you're in 5-year trauma, and you're still stuck in the relationship when the person has been long gone. You're realizing that you are opening your arms up to receiving the love that you deserve, and you are putting yourself in a space to be able to earn the love that the love that you deserve, because you're not a bad person. You could be feeling bad about yourself right now, or you could have been feeling bad in the past and you're trying to get out of that energy, or you have been getting out of that energy and now you're figuring out what to do next. um and I see also, like, with this, you're working on, I see people, like, really, like, as you heal and work through these traumas for the next 10 days going into Pisces season, people will start to look at you a little differently. That you'll get that twinkle in your eye back, like you'll feel happier again, your mood will be lifted. Um and I see you could potentially be finding a new lover, maybe, as you heal yourself. You will, oh, sorry, I skipped over the current energy with the 7 of Cups. So with the 7 of Cups, you are, give me a second, let me look at your current energy. So you have, yeah, you're working on your throat chakra, and then you got the energy of 8. So I think you're going to be talking to someone about what you went through in the past. And this is going to inadvertently help you heal, because you're going to be finally speaking up after all these years about what happened to you. And maybe, like, you might have talked about it, you might have thought about it, but you didn't really address it because it hurt you to the core. And it could have been something that happened in public, like you could have been in a marriage and then it didn't last long, or someone you could have been in a relationship for a long time could have cheated on you in public in front of everyone, and everyone could have really, like, looked up to you and liked you. And even though people still, probably really do like you, maybe romantically or just in general, like, you probably have a lot of friends or people really think highly of you, your status could have been really, really well, but because you had issues around your heart chakra and you had trauma around your heart chakra, it caused you to not really be yourself, and it could have embarrassed you and put you in an energy of shame, and that energy of shame has caused you to hide. And the 12th house Pisces is really about, like I said, the dark depths, hidden things, secrets, and illusions. And you could have just gone into your shell and just retreated back and not really been the highest version, the best version of you. Not saying that you're a bad version of yourself right now, but you probably haven't been the best version of you. Because Pisces, I get that a lot of people really, really do like you, and they don't really think it's anything wrong with you. It's like you're the only person who's looking at yourself this way. But you have a lot of love to give. You're very intuitive, you're very emotional, and you need to, um I don't get that you don't listen to your gut, but it's like you need to heal your heart chakra. You need to balance out your emotions, and you are reevaluating the things that you went through in the past and everything that you've gone through in general up until this point in life, because you're about to go through a new year. You're about to have a birthday as you go into Pisces season, and you're really thinking about all the years of life before then. Some of you could be going through a Saturn return, which means you could be turning 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, or you could be turning 17, 18, maybe you're, or you could be turning, let's see, what is it, 40. I'm gonna put Saturn return years in the description box, so I know I got that off, and I'll explain that as well. I might actually make a video about Saturn returns because I'm about to go through mine. I'm about to be 29 this year. Um, so maybe some of you guys are turning 29. I'm turning 29 this year, and it's the year number 7, ironically. So we got a year number 7, 7 having to deal with abundance, new relationships, love matters, karma, healing karma, and going through karma. Karma being ruled by Capricorn and Saturn. So it's like you're going through your Saturn return, and as you prepare yourself, for example, let's say, for example, this is your last year in your 20s, like me. You're about to be 29, and then you're going to be going to your 30s. So, like, when you were a teenager, you're like, okay, wow, I'm 19, this is my last year being a teenager, and I'm going into my 20s. So you're going through this whole era of the 20s, and now it's like you finished out your 20s and you're like, okay, Now I'm going into my 30s, and it's like, what do I want for myself in my 30s? Like, how do I want to envision that? So I think it will benefit you to really write down intentions and start writing more. Try to work on manifestation and law of attraction and healing your chakras. And I was telling Sagittarius, look at the chakras and figure out like where your healing needs to happen. But I'm telling you specifically, yours is in the heart chakra and the throat chakra. You could even want to get some. This is green. What is this green? Is this fluorite? No, this is not fluorite, but fluorite would be a good crystal. Also, it's green. This crystal is what is this called? It's not chrysocolla. It's very pretty. Hold on. Anytime you hear me say hold on, it's because I'm putting the microphone down. See that? This is what is this called? I can't remember. It's what I know what it does though. This is good. I use this a lot during Mercury retrograde or like when I travel, anything that has to do with the third house, because this, or the throat chakra, this has to deal with communicating. And this is a crystal to help you open up your throat chakra. And then we got onyx here. Onyx, I read before, was a good crystal for Leo, which Leo rules the heart chakra. So you could be working maybe on your ego, which is why I said an ego death before. So these two crystals, I would recommend if I could remember the name of this one. What is this? It's not grain aventurine. It's not chrysocolla. It's not fluorite. It's this is actually one of my favorite crystals. I don't even remember the name, but it works. Like as I'm over here forgetting what it's called, talking about the throat chakra, but I'll put it in the description box. Um, so for your future energies, I got the number 10 and the number 7. Here. I'm gonna get into the future energies in a second. So right here in your present energy, you is you got the ego here, the emotions, your love, your wisdom, your lower self, toxicity, and then you're bringing it all. This is like in the shape of the tree of the Kabbalah. Maybe you're getting into Kabbalah. Uh, you could be researching ancient, like maybe you can, and maybe you're not the person because, well, I'm not gonna say that. You could be like researching ancient like knowledge, like Kemet or um, yeah, like Kemet and ancient Egyptian practices. Maybe you had a past life in Egypt or in Africa and you're doing a past life regression because your past could go deeper than, 0 to 18 years old or 0 to 33 years old, 0 to 54 or 0 to 29. It could go deeper. Like it could be like you healing your south node, your past life energy. Your south node could be in Sagittarius, or a north node could be in Sagittarius, or your south node could be in Capricorn or Cancer, something like that. Or you could be a Cancer rising. I would definitely look at your chart. Maybe you're studying more about your chart, and that's helping you understand why you went through the things you went through. It'll help you understand when you might find Saturn in a particular part of your house, or in the ninth house, or your moon or Sagittarius, and it'll all make sense to you. And then when you look at your south node, you'll be like, oh, that's why that happened to me, and you'll start going through this snowball effect of learning about why you went through what you went through. Now, like I was saying, going into the future energies, so this is gonna be like at the end of Aquarius season, probably about like in a week, going towards Pisces season, going towards your birthday. You're gonna start to feel a lot of love, and you're gonna be able to release all of the hurt and trauma that you had around your heart chakra, and you're gonna be healing your heart chakra, and that's gonna naturally, like, you're just life is gonna feel normal again. Like it's kind of like where say you're around a group of people who say you're sitting at a table. Like I see you sitting at a table and there's a group of people around, everybody's chatting, talking, but it's like you hear people talking in the background, but you don't hear them. Like when your ears pop and like your sound goes out. So I hear you like being in a state of hypnosis. And then like you snap out of it. And like it's almost like you could have had some type of entity attached to your energy, and maybe you feel like that, like you could have had some like incubus or succubus attached to you, which has caused you to be in the energy of lust. And as a Pisces, you don't necessarily want to be in the energy of lust because you want to love, like you want to be in an actual relationship. You want to be you want to give yourself fully and not be toxic. So I see you snapping out of it and being like, whoa, like, what was that? But it's like there are things happening to you that you can't explain, like deja vu, or like an entity being attached to you, or seeing paranormal activity, or, you know, thinking that maybe you heard your dog talk or something, and your dog has been talking to you telepathically, or your cat or whatever, and you're just like, this is weird. But you can't explain it to anyone because you feel like you're crazy. But instead of, feeling like that you don't have anyone to talk to, you are being your own best friend and really balancing out your internal and your external. You feeling like you're Alice in Wonderland living in a fantasy world, and actually being in the real world and not feeling crazy like, oh, that's just my imagination. No, it's not just your imagination. You're a Pisces. Your imagination is your power. Your imagination is your wisdom, and you're realizing that. And you're going to be stepping out on faith. You're going to be stepping out on your emotions just like you did in the past, but instead, like now, you are saying what your boundaries are. You are being able to peep game ahead of time, like when somebody is trying to play you, when you know that somebody is already being toxic, being a red flag. Like if something happens, like you're able to peep it out instead of like getting played and letting time go by to where now you just lost yourself again, and now you have to go through another ego death. And that's okay if you have to. Like sometimes we got to go through multiple stages of healing and understanding for us to really get it. And so now you are transcending this energy before. So I brought up the semi-sextile energy of the 11th and the 12th house because I did notice that you went from the 10 to 11 here, and then you went from the sevens to the eights. So it was like you're evolving, you're going up, you're evolving from like you're healing intimacy, like feelings of intimacy. Let me read this Eight of Cups really quickly. You're healing feelings of intimacy, and you're actually drawing in the things that you want for yourself. But I feel like before you weren't really clear on what those were because you spent a long period of time being in hypnosis due to trauma. So let's see. I'm using this book to define these cards. So this card right here, I know it's kind of far away, but the I don't know why I keep doing that. The Eight of Cups upright. And then we have here, excuse me, we have the Nine of Pentacles clarified by the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles clarified by the Nine. Oh God, of Swords. So before I get into those, to explain to you what I'm saying, oh God, I'm gonna read the Eight of Cups for you, and then we're gonna finish out this reading. So far, so good though. Don't beat yourself up, Pisces. You've been beaten up by other people enough, and I know that's probably not what you want to hear. You probably want to be like, I beat myself up. You don't want to accept the fact that people fucked you over, but so the Eight of Cups says dissatisfaction with the day to day leads you to reevaluate your life, where you are, and where you're headed. You've strived to get to this point in your path, and you're feeling left unfulfilled, seeking a deeper truth. That's exactly what I was saying about this Nine here. There's a buzz in your ear to give it all up and to chase your joy, even if it doesn't make sense yet. Okay, so that makes sense. So, oh, yes, Lord, I love this. Oh, I'm just going to cleanse your energy, Pisces. Yes, we're opening up all channels. We're unblocking all energy, removing all fear, removing all trauma. Yes, Pisces, clear your mind, relax. Okay. You remember when I said before that you need something to pour all your emotions into instead of a person? You have found out how to do that and balanced it so that way you're not over the place. Because Aquarius and air energy is almost foreign to you because you lead by emotions, where air signs, they lead by thoughts. They're logical, rational, can be a little bit boring sometimes. No, she no Tay no she. I said no she no she. This is what happens when you start talking shit. No tea, no shade. Because I'm a Libra rising, so I can understand this. I'm a Gemini Mars and Libra rising, so I got my own. Well, I got Venus in the 11th house, so I understand the air energy. But I'm a fire sign and a water moon, so I got a little Rick James in my veins, like you Pisces. No tea, no shade, boo. But I ain't gonna hold you. Let me just turn the camera a little bit so you can see. Hold on, hold on. Pisces, boo, I'm not gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you, boo. Let me bring these cards down so you can see. I ain't gonna hold you, but Pisces season is not gonna be all dandelions and roses like you may think it's gonna be. And this is why. Because you're gonna be healing. And healing is a very good thing. It's a happy thing. It can be very dark and be happy. It's subjective, just like art. But there's going to be, in Pisces season, there's going to be some oppositions. As you transcend this wisdom, as you heal your karma and relationships, and as you are bringing yourself into balance, there is going to be some thought that is opposing what it is that you are trying to do. Because I'm seeing that since it's your birthday, you know, somebody may come back to try to gaslight you, like somebody from your past, old friend. It's the ninth house. It could be a father, grandfather, a masculine energy, particularly, or it could be someone in their masculine energy, even if it's a female. It could be an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or it could be a Sagittarius. Um, who might, or yeah, somebody who's a Sagittarius, somebody who's a Libra, or someone who's, you know, even maybe, I don't know. I was gonna say even maybe another Pisces, but yeah, Pisces, during Pisces season, as you're healing and being happy, and people are seeing this, you're gonna attract energy vampires. And you're gonna attract people who are going like, this is the divines and this is the universe, yourself and the divine's way of testing you as you're healing, because your test does not come at the end. It comes either in the beginning or right in the middle, or depending on where you are, it can come at the end. But because you're going to be in your season, in your energy, feeling, you know, lifting your own spirits and trying to feel good about yourself, people are going to see this. You're going to become a light, just like here on the moon. Like, people are attracted to the moon, drawn to the moon. They see it. They want to be in the moonlight. And these people will come back to you and tempt you. I see like temptation. I hear temptation by the Destiny's Child, but actually we get into songs. The songs that I got were Rihanna, Where Have You Been? Because tomorrow is the Super Bowl. Um, Rihanna, Where Have You Been? Rihanna herself being a Pisces too. Think about the fact that Rihanna, even though she did just have a baby, we watch Rihanna go through a lot of different relationships with Matt Kemp, with Chris Brown, with that one millionaire Arabian guy she was dating, and it was all out there. She had no choice. She couldn't like hide it. And her being a Pisces, she didn't want to hide it. She, you know, that's her thing. Like, she likes being in a relationship, but it didn't work. And so people probably like, you know, whatever. So I'm hearing Where Have You Been by Rihanna. I've been everywhere, man, looking for someone who can please me, love me all night long. I've been everywhere, man, looking for you, babe. Searching for you, babe. Searching for you, babe. Where have you been? 'Cause I never see you out. Are you hiding from me? Yeah. So I feel like either like you were hiding from yourself, you were hiding from someone, or like you've been out searching and finding something that was not there, Pisces, because you have a tendency to do that. You have a tendency to be out there, spend all your waking days, life, months, minutes, hours, seconds, minute, hours of the almighty power of the almighty child of that chopper sister, brother, son, dancing on the bridge. I got that Maserati dancing on the bridge. Pussy papa, tell them coppers, ha 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 ha. And anyway, I feel like somebody's gonna be like, "Yeah, where have you been? You look really good. Happy birthday, Pisces. You look so good. Like, how have you been doing?" Just to like see if they can like take advantage of you and like be like, oh yeah, I want some of that. I want some from Pisces. And let me see if I can get back in their good graces because I know Pisces is nice. And low key, I don't even really want to be with Pisces, but Pisces makes me feel good about myself. So let me go talk to Pisces. No. Fuck you, bitch. Um, the other songs that I got was Lay Me Down. So somebody could be coming back energy, being like, "Oh yeah, it's your birthday, so you know I want to ride." It's like, no, get back, get back, get back. You don't know me like that, cause I'm a new Pisces. You don't know me like that. The other song I was hearing, oh man, 59 minutes. I've been on this shit with you for an hour, Pisces, getting deep in it. Um, I heard. Well, before actually, I said "Lay Me Down" by Sam Smith. Can I lay by your side? So it's like someone is gonna, you're doing your own thing, going on my own path, ha ha ha, healing, da 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 da, and then here comes a person being like, "Can I come along too? Remember me from school? Hell no, you just no lovely boy." So yeah, like you are going to have to fight these energies, and it's gonna probably make you feel bad, and you don't want to have to feel like you have to fight because you're a lover, you're a certified lover, girl and boy. Like, but instead it's like this is a part of the journey and you are doing it for you. Like I said, you're addicted to the healing, you're addicted to the healing. Like during your birthday, you're really doing you, and someone wants to do you too, Pisces, but I wouldn't fall for it. The other song I heard was Stereotype by Chris Brown. Why are my hands? I had to put the lyrics because I don't know. Oh wait. Oh yeah, he said, "For me once, shame on you, baby. For me twice, some should have known better, girl. With you." That's a good song. You should listen to that. I love that song. And then actually, before I started all of this, the first song I heard was "Why" by Eminem. Boy, I wonder why. Boy, I wonder why. Because you're just sitting here wondering why. I feel like that's what keeps going on in your mind over and over again. Why? Why did I do that? Why did that happen? Why they play me like that? Why they say that? Why would they do me like that? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Why would you do that? Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Let's get top in the morning. Top in the morning. Ah, I love you, Pisces. It's almost your season. These just your last 10 days. We're almost through the final stretch. You're gonna get through it. Don't even stress it, boo. But please leave your girl a thumbs up if you was fucking with me today. Leave your girl a thumbs up and let me know how you felt about this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. Cause obviously we're gonna have some more shit kicking in this 2020 free here, you hear me? As we get closer to your birthday, I'm gonna be really I feel like I'm a Leo, so Aquarius season be kind of having me like my mind just don't be working the way it's supposed to. But Pisces season, I'm looking forward to Pisces season and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more readings. Definitely looking in. I feel like Pisces, I'm gonna dedicate Pisces season to y'all, and I'm just gonna really be tapping into your energy. I just feel like there are a lot of Pisces that watch my channel. This is my first Pisces reading for the channel, but I just feel like there's a lot of Pisces that are drawn to my channel, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of Pisces stuff for Pisces season. So, subscribe to the channel, so you can get into more Pisces energy with your girl T O Patra. And that's all I got, folks. Until next time, toodles.